back in 2017, the Trump administration announced a new group within the federal government that would help provide resources to those who have been victimized by these dangerous criminals in the United States, specifically undocumented criminals. It's known as the Victims of Immigration Crime Engagement, also known as VOICE. And now we have some numbers indicating how many people have called looking for help because they've been victimized by illegal immigrants. Well, it's turned out to be a complete and utter disaster for the Trump administration. They wouldn't tell you that, but we have the numbers that I want to go into right now. So the high demand that the Trump administration anticipated for additional resources for victims of crimes committed by undocumented immigrants hasn't materialized, nor has the office recorded any evidence of the widespread victimization of criminal aliens by criminal aliens as Trump's executive order mandates. They have all these calls, and less than 50% have anything to do with immigration at all, and even less have anything to do with what that hotline was created in the first place for. So since April of last year, 6 operators sitting at a call center in Laguna Niguel, California have fielded calls for 12 hours a day. One caller asked to make a reservation at a Trump hotel. Another caller wanted to report a coyote who stole his cat.
Well, was the coyote documented or not?
I don't know. I mean, we need to see the papers. Dozens of callers reported space aliens, some going into details of what dates they were abducted by UFOs. Hundreds called to denounce ex-spouses, neighbors, and business rivals whom they suspected of being in the country illegally. Okay, so those are just examples of ridiculous calls.
Yeah, I know, before you get to more substance, let's just pause there. Like, you open up a hotline for right-wingers. Buckle up and brace for impact.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, the UFOs got me, and then they did this probe and that probe and the coyote, and besides which, I hate my ex-wife. Can you guys lock her up?
Look, to be fair, I'm sure they got a ton of prank calls from people who do not identify as right-wingers, right? Like the alien calls.
No, Anna. Look, unfortunately, having studied the right wing a little bit online, a shocking percentage of them have mental health issues.
They did get a lot of calls about lizard people.
Of course they did.
I made that up. I don't know if they got calls.
No, I would be shocked if they didn't, okay? And look, some of them are definitely pranks, okay? And I bet you an unhealthy percentage of those are actual right-wingers who believe in insane conspiracy theories.
Okay, it's not far-fetched, but let's look at the bigger picture, okay? So of the 4,602 calls received between April 26th and September 30th last year, more than half, 2,515 calls, were classified as unrelated or commentary.
It's totally right-wingers,
it's
come
amazing.
on. Commentary.
Some 244 callers requested victim services, though the report notes that only 127 ultimately wanted social service referrals. Another 254 asked about the status of a case. So look, there have already been studies that look into crime and whether or not it has undocumented immigrants or an influx of immigration led to increased crimes in certain parts of the country. Those studies indicate that no, it has not increased crime. In fact, crime continues to drop. And if you look at specific communities where undocumented immigrants usually live, crime is much less, is less likely to happen because they're so terrified of getting deported. They don't want to draw attention to themselves, and they're not criminals. They're not criminals. That's what the right wing wants you to think. They want you to focus on the powerless, so you're not paying attention to them while they're robbing you. That's what's really going on with the Trump administration. Homeboy's using, his status and his power to benefit himself and his own businesses, right? He's making the wealthiest people in the country even more wealthy, and we're all focusing on people who have absolutely no rights and no power in the country. It's amazing.
Let's just review: 4,602 calls, 127 cases that were actually referred to social services. That is a minuscule percentage. So it's unsurprising when you set up an Orwellian dystopian agency where it's called VOICE, Victims of Immigration Crime Engagement. And it's Orwellian because, as Anna pointed out, it's the opposite of what's true. And for those of you that go, oh yeah, see, they're afraid of getting deported. That's why they're committing less crime. That was a Bush one. No, those stats about how they commit far less crime than citizens are from before Trump.
Yep.
So it has absolutely nothing to do with Trump. About on average, people who are immigrants to the country commit 50% less crimes, including non-documented immigrants, than normal American citizens. So if you want to get rid of the crime, deport yourself.
Actually, I mean, undocumented immigrants are more likely to be victims of crime because they don't have the ability to just go to law enforcement, or at least they're too afraid to go to law enforcement and report those crimes. And so, they might get paid way less than they're supposed to get paid if they are working. There have been multiple cases of women who have been victimized by domestic violence. They feel like they can't go to the cops and report it. There have been cases of rape where women cannot report it. So these are things that you should keep in mind as we continue to pick on the powerless people in the country.
You know what they would say to that? Womp womp.
Yeah, they would say that. I mean, Ann Coulter said that when I brought up the issue of Border Patrol agents sexually assaulting and raping minors that were attempting to come into the country. She's like, well, it wouldn't happen if there was a wall. She's a hag, so whatever.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.